What's good, y'all? It's Drew here, back with another video. Today we got the homie Tokyo Tron, so why don't you introduce yourself, bro?
Yo, what's up? It's Tron. Thanks for having me again, bro.
Anytime, man. We had to bring the homie on for another video. Obviously, we're in Wano, right? We're kind of Wano's in his bag right now, as of chapter 1023. But it made me kind of think about the stuff outside of Wano and what we're kind of hyped for, because it's been a minute since we've seen things outside of like Onigashima and stuff like that. So I'll start first. I'll go with some slight. I'm obviously on that Boa agenda, so we're definitely going to talk about Boa versus Coby. And that's the first thing to start to talk about. Warlord abolishment can be its own thing, but specifically I think the Boa versus Coby fight is really interesting. Talking about after Wano, just because Boa hasn't fought before, Kobe's trying to catch up to Luffy. They're both characters that kind of need feats and stuff, and to see a character like Coby and Boa have to fight for the first time, it'll be really interesting. We're talking about outside of Wano, and the craziest thing, I think that's the first thing I gotta bring up.
Obviously, Coby has to do a lot of catching up to get closer to Luffy, but I kind of feel like something weird has to happen with it, because I think it would be kind of awkward for Coby to have to go through Boa to get closer to Luffy, because that would mean like she would probably have to get re-imprisoned, and then they'll find her slave mark and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't really think that's gonna happen unless there's another like save mission for Boa or something.
Thing is, I see Boa as stronger than Coby, obviously, but I don't think Boa's gonna get in prison either. Like she was a celestial dragon slave basically, so I don't think Oda would have her be that again. That'd be kind of messed up. Because Coby and Boa, they're both Luffy stands. Like let's keep it 1,000. So I can see that Luffy's name get brought up somehow, and then I guess they'll be good. But I don't know. Like Coby might not come alone as well. That's the problem. He might come with an admiral or something crazy like that.
Oh no, I can see her either getting recaptured or maybe like some of her sisters die and she escapes or something.
Ooh, yeah.
I think it could go either way, really. So after talking about Coby and Boa, I think one of the other pretty interesting things happening is whatever's going on with Blackbeard.
Oh yeah.
Remember in one of the outside of Wano chapters, it said he has to go on the move, so I think there's a possibility of him either going to Whole Cake, getting a poneglyph, and there's also, I think we have to talk about Blackbeard and Shanks and what's going to happen when they finally meet.
Honestly, the Blackbeard Shanks story, that's a move. That's definitely going to be like a movie. I think that could even be a separate point, just because a lot of fans have their headcanon with what's supposed to happen in that. Talking about Blackbeard and his move, like I've heard I don't know if you've seen it. I don't even know who made it, but it was like a little fan-made manga comic joint where Blackbeard fought like Katakuri and Whole Cake, and that joint was heat. We know Blackbeard's on the move. Like that's like a option, right? Another place he could be pulling up to is like Fishman Island. We know Shirahoshi, Orlong's sister, I forgot her name, but she had the whole little future premonition where she saw Luffy, and I don't think that was Luffy. I think that was. We know Blackbeard has a couple people on his crew that can shape. Well, he has a Katarina Devon. She can kind of shapeshift, so it could be that. You know what I'm saying? We know that if it's not Luffy, it's gonna be someone who can shapeshift. And besides Katarina Devon, it's gotta be like Bon Clay. I don't think he'd be there. So Blackbeard could be in Fishman Island. He could be pulling up to like Alabasta maybe because of the whole Pluto and stuff. But yeah, like Whole Cake Island's another one. But I mean, I guess you already kind of got the cat out the bag. I was gonna save the Blackbeard Shanks one, but yeah, the Blackbeard Shanks one, that is the gas. Like, Blackbeard Shanks, they've been on like a collision course since pre-time skip, right? With the whole Ace situation. Shanks got scarred by Blackbeard. They were both like cabin boys on the two greatest pirates crew ever, right? They're both Yonko now. Obviously, Oda's been putting the hints there, and we know Blackbeard's EOS villain or whatever. So we can assume that if they fight, Shanks is not gonna win that endeavor, and Blackbeard might get him out the paint, which would be unfortunate. I guess this is like almost a side tangent, but what do you think? What are your opinions on like a Shanks Blackbeard fight and with if Shanks would die or not? Because a lot of people think that.
So my whole thing about Shanks dying is, even if he doesn't die, I'm just kind of struggling to figure like what would his role be in the story, right? Because I think it's kind of obvious that Blackbeard's gonna end up fighting Luffy. No, it's a whole twist if like that evil Shanks theory actually happened, but I think that Shanks is probably going to be out of the story after fighting Blackbeard, because if he doesn't die, he's going to be like heavily injured and not able to fight or something like that, so he might as well die anyway in that case. And I feel like if Shanks were to stay alive, Luffy might just have a bit too much help, because like his dad's the leader of the Revolutionary Army.
Yeah.
You know, Garp might help Luffy. He might turn on the world government at the end. And having another whole Yonko crew as an ally, that would be a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, arguably, I'm not gonna say arguably the strongest, but Shanks' crew seems to have like a lot of they seem to have a lot of up top talent. Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. It's a weird thing because like I've always been against the whole Shanks dying because it's like Blackbeard already did enough to me for Luffy to want the hands, right? Like, Luffy and Blackbeard, you know, we saw was it Impel Down round when they met up. Luffy was trying to run the ones, and that fight gladly so got interrupted. But it's like it was like before Ace died too, so it already seems like Luffy has enough reason to want to beat Blackbeard. One that I have that I think is like really, I think this is probably the biggest one for me. It's basically like Dragon and the Revolutionary Army's next move, right? Because the Revolutionary Army have been building up for like a decade or so. It's been like 12 or so years. They've been building up a crew and this whole plan that Dragon has. It's been for a minute. And I've talked about Dragon a lot and how he's interesting. And it seems like, you know, we have gotten very little from him. But if you go and look at like Impel Down, Ivankov wasn't supposed to leave, and she wasn't supposed to leave Impel Down, or he wasn't supposed to leave Impel Down. Like, the only reason he left was because he was following Luffy's will, which is like, he thought it was Dragon's will type thing. Like, please felt like Ivankov was waiting for Dragon's big move and then he was going to break out of prison. For him to be so vehemently against the government, I think something in his life had to have happened. Whether it's related to his potential mom or his wife or something. I think we should get some stuff on that. The Revolutionary Army and stuff. We might even get some like emu stuff. I guess that might be an extra point and stuff. But there's search for a sabo. Like I'm on the sabo agenda at all times. But like Sabo, he's MIA. People think he's dead, but I don't think he's dead. So we might see the Revolutionary Army going after Sabo and seeing what's up with him. I think that could lead to like a lot of other stuff. But I think that's probably another really, really great Wano moment, honestly. That would go crazy.
And then even on top of that Sabo thing, I definitely also don't think he's dead.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm pretty sure the common theory is like maybe Sabo got framed of doing something to Vivi. And if that happens to be true, like I could see the Straw Hats maybe reuniting with Vivi for the last trip. And probably just taking Sabo with them if he sees them there anyway, so. Even going after Wano, I think one of the arcs that we as a community all expect is definitely elbaf. No, I think it's probably going to be an Usopp-centric arc. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Dory and Bragi found their way back to elbaf. That would be a really cool callback. I mean, I don't know, the only thing about elbaf is because we already talked about Shanks and Blackbeard, so if Shanks were to die, do we think his whole crew gets wiped out? Because I feel like Usopp still needs to meet his dad. And most people are thinking that would happen at elbaf. So, to me, I think, like, either Shanks and Blackbeard don't fight yet. Yeah. You know, Shanks actually meets the Straw Hats at elbaf, and then Shanks dies fighting Blackbeard after. Or Shanks, like, dies fighting Blackbeard, but the rest of his crew escapes.
Yeah, and I just thought about like that when you were talking. So I think, I guess for this the pretense of the video and stuff, but like according to what this timeline we're using, I think it would make sense if he meets Shanks and stuff and he fights him and Shanks is like, you know, you're finally that guy, Luffy. Like you are a great pirate, which is I think it's like that's what Roger was before he found One Piece, and that's what like Whitebeard pre-Tonsuke was, right? You're finally that great pirate. Then he get I don't think Shanks will actually take the hat back personally because Luffy, it's the Straw Hat Pirates, right? That would be kind of wild. Like, how are you the Straw Hat Pirate without a Straw Hat? It's weird. Luffy will be, you know, accepted by Shanks as a tough pirate. And then, like, I think Blackbeard will cap off our boy Shanks. So I think this could be the next point. I don't know if it's between me or you, but we know that Zoro and Mihawk has to happen very soon. Shanks probably knows about Mihawk and Zoro's journey to beat him. So Shanks might see Zoro, and, like, obviously, I think after Wano, Zoro gonna be famous. Like, I don't know what his bounty's gonna look like, but he's gonna be looking tough. So he'd be like, is that Zoro? Like, yeah. You're trying to beat Mihawk. Do you know what it takes to beat that guy? And like, I don't know whether it's like a hockey clash or maybe it's like a little cool thing with them. Back then, that would really, really build the hype for a Zoro Mihawk battle where it's like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I feel like, at least in terms of Zoro's character, I feel like it would be good if he at least challenged Shanks in some regard. Because I feel like it would make sense for Zoro to want to challenge him, but I don't think Zoro's like there yet. Because it really wouldn't make sense, like, right now for him to be, like, just clashing with Shanks like that. I could see Shanks blowing him away. Like, having some sort of interaction, at least.
I guess this depends on how powerful you think Zoro and, like, Luffy will be after Wano. But, like me personally, I'll have Luffy, like, approaching an admiral. Like, he'd probably, like, high diff one at best. And obviously, I have Zoro below Luffy, so it'll be around there. But, like, again, if Luffy can't even be an admiral at this time, not saying that well, not the admiral Yonko would generate anything, but if Luffy can't beat an admiral, it's like he'll fight Shanks. I think he'll probably lose, but Zoro's fight against Mihawk, Zoro actually has to beat Mihawk, right? That's the whole point. Luffy doesn't really have to beat Shanks. Maybe Luffy can be stronger than Zoro significantly, and then Luffy will like maybe get mid-diff by Shanks and Shanks like, damn, you're really powerful now. And Zoro would try to fight Shanks, and then maybe, like you said, like Shanks, like he's like, bro, you're not here yet, and like slash him off. That would be really funny.
Yeah, and with the whole Zoro Mihawk thing, I don't know where like what your thoughts about it are, but I think that probably has to be like maybe after everything that happens in One Piece.
Really?
Like one of those things. Like I'd think like after at least the Blackbeard fight, maybe after the final war. Only reason I think that, right, is because like I have Mihawk up there with admirals and yonkos.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like too important like exactly like where he is, but I feel like if we have Zoro beating Mihawk one-on-one and then Luffy goes on to fight Blackbeard's crew, like I think Zoro would just be a bit too strong at that point then. Unless he gets heavily injured in the Mihawk fight, because you would have like essentially two Yonko tier characters in Luffy and Zoro against Blackbeard's crew.
I can see that. I guess that really depends on how much you push Shiryu up, because I think Shiryu is like Zoro's last opponent. And that's because I think he's his last one. I always boost Shiryu to like above Mihawk. Like Shiryu, you could maybe put him top 10, 20 all time, just because like it's almost like I'm scaling him to what I assume an EOS Zoro would be, and it's like he's above Mihawk. But I think another big thing to touch upon is like the world government, Imu, and the Gorosei, because obviously I know you read the current chapters and stuff. I think it's kind of not obvious, but I think it seems like King is his race is one of the races that were wiped out by Imu, and like this Gorosei, you know. I'm not going to rehash what happened, but it seems like King and his race were eradicated by Imu and the Gorosei. I don't know when it was, it might be the reverie or something, but we heard the Gorosei said, who do you want to wipe out next? So like, but the world government might be on their move, like they might start to move and do stuff, and I feel like that, I mean, this is the final war. I don't think that the final war, it's not the next arc obviously, but I think that the final war beginning stuff will start to move. We might even see Vegapunk as early as next arc in my opinion, because I think whenever we see Vegapunk is when we'll learn all the Devil Fruit secrets and stuff. I could see we get some Devil Fruit information, and maybe Vegapunk even meets like the Straw Hat or something like that. I don't know what your thoughts on that are though.
Yeah, I definitely think he's working with the revolutionaries somehow. Probably. See, Vegapunk, I'm not sure if he has to interact with the Straw Hats or if they just have to find out about him though. Because I can see it going either way. If he works with the revolutionaries, obviously Luffy has ties with them, so it's probably going to be a friendly interaction. I could see something between Vegapunk and Frankie. Even though he also does help with the ship, I think that, if anything, he's probably like close to this generation's Vegapunk. I would have to say, at least for like the next generation, so there probably has to be some sort of interaction there between Frankie and Vegapunk.
I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like the Straw Hat time skips when they happen, like the only ones I cared about were like Luffy and Zoro, just because they're masters and stuff. Like the rest of like Frankie would have been like a close third though, because Frankie's like backstory was about, well, not his backstory, but his time skip training was from this Vegapunk guy that we knew so little about. And then we see Frankie, and Frankie's basically under not under Vegapunk, but he has like Vegapunk's like old inventions and stuff, and he's working with that. And that's like, I feel like that's a lot of foreshadowing that like Frankie might, like you said, Frankie might have an interaction with Vegapunk, and I don't know what it would be. Like I've heard the Vegapunk Revolutionary Army theory. I guess it's because like the Kuma connection and stuff. That would be crazy. Like if Vegapunk is under the Revolutionary Army, because when you look at the Revolutionary Army, like real quick, but when you think about like Sabo was a new guy, right? He wasn't like Sabo wasn't in the like Dragon's plan for like what the Revolutionary Army are, right? Because he was someone Dragon just found. We know Ivankov is not crazy powerful, maybe like a first commander or something. Then you look at the crew and it's like, I know that Dragon's not expecting to beat the government in 1v1, like a Davy back fight or something, but it's like, if are these your best people and your strongest or whatever, like how did you expect to compete? And then you lost Kuma, like that. I think Vegapunk being a part of the team would be like insane.
Yeah, so even talking about Dragon strength, I think one way we could look at it, right, is, I feel like, obviously this is just pure headcanon, but I think Kuma probably was up there. Yeah, like, I don't know exactly how strong, but he was definitely, like, I'd have to say, like, around first commander level or, like, even above that back in his prime. And then, as for Dragon, I feel like Dragon could really be anywhere from, like, minimum, like, low admiral max, he like Dragon honestly could still be the strongest character in the verse. I think it really just all depends.
I'm in agreement with both those points. With I always tell people like that Kuma is tough. Like his fruit's crazy, and he really didn't get beat by no one. Like he was kind of in his bag.
Yeah.
And then Dragon, I think Dragon, just based off of his bounty, what we think he could be, his relevance in the world. I think if you put him on like a Yonko level, that's not crazy to me. But I think that if his because it seems like his crew, he might have one of the. I'm not saying he's not one of the weaker crews, but it's like if he's not a Yonko level opponent or admiral at worst, I just don't see how that's that's not a competent top tier crew to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wouldn't work. So yeah, I guess like what you said, I see it being kind of like that. Based on this slightly, there's the whole 3 ancient weapons. I don't know if that's gonna start next chapter. I'm not next chapter after Wano.
Yeah, I mean I think it has to. So about the 3 ancient weapons, right? So I'm kind of under the impression that each of them is controlled by something, I guess. So we have Shirahoshi.
Yeah. How
she controls all the Sea Kings. Pluton, that one was the ship, right?
Yeah, the ship, the one that the Tom instructions one.
Yeah. So Pluton, I think it's either literally a ship, but maybe you have to be a special person to be able to actually control it.
Yeah.
Like how Shirahoshi came with the Sea Kings. And then Uranus, I have no idea. I've seen theories about it being Momonosuke with Zunisha. And maybe there's a ton of land that would be crazy if there were a ton of elephants Zunisha's size or even slightly smaller just rolling around.
Giant Zunisha, that would be hard. Imagine an army of Zunishas. That would be insane.
Yeah.
I think I've heard the theory where the theory that each of the 3 ancient weapons has a person accompanying it and and casting it type thing. Where we know Shirahoshi is that. Momo's the other one. I think Pluto. I can't remember what people associate Pluto with the person.
Is it Vivi?
Yeah, I think it's Vivi. 3 ancient weapons are almost associated with hockeys too, where Pluto is armament, I think, because that's a weapon. Pluto's armament. Shirahoshi is conquerors, because she can control the ancient, use conquerors. And then I've got the 3rd one. That's Uranus, right?
Yeah.
That's I think that would be observation. That's just a random. I've heard that around. That's just something interesting. This is my question to you. We can kind of end off on this with this question. The ancient weapons to me seem so out of place in the One Piece world so far. With the Pluto, which has this. Just imagine the strongest ship ever. I feel like that would be really weird with combat. Imagine a fight between. Let's just say Imu can fight and he's strong. A fight between Imu and Pluto. How would that look? It would look very. It would look jarring to me. That's this kind of thing I've always been thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, what I think about the ancient weapons and really the end of One Piece in general is it's something that I definitely just have no idea, right? Obviously I have some predictions, some thoughts, but I feel with everything set up, it's just gonna be something so crazy that at the end of the day, only Oda really knows. I mean, obviously, we know, Luffy's gonna fight Blackbeard. We know, Luffy's... Maybe he fights Akainu, maybe Sabo does, but Luffy's gonna do something with the world government.
Yeah.
But I think that at the end of the day, there's something beyond that I think a lot of people probably aren't seeing, and it's probably because I feel it's the one secret of One Piece that really Oda has tight to his chest, because all this ancient weapon stuff, as you were saying, it doesn't really fit in that much.
Yeah.
Then everything with the celestial dragons, there's so much stuff that has to happen that I can't really see Luffy being the cause of.
Yeah, that's kind of I know I'm on that Sabo agenda for anyone who doesn't know. I think Sabo's a Byakuya. It seems kind of random, but I feel the reason why that one makes sense to me, and I have Dragon doing all the stuff with Imu the Gorosei, is because Luffy is that guy. He's gonna be the Pirate King, but it's you mean tell me that there are people that think that Luffy's gonna beat Blackbeard, then beat Akainu, and then beat Imu and this man Luffy not he could only be at one place. He don't have Shaolin Jutsu. I don't know how he would do all those things in one war arc. And also it's not even just that. It's just the fact that people want Luffy to do all those things, and it's you got some really capable fighters in Dragon, Sabo. I'm not gonna throw Boa, but there's a lot of really powerful people that could take that the burden off Luffy's shoulders, and it's just I don't know, it's just that whole thing. So yeah, do you have any videos? I know you said something about you said Ragnarok and One Piece. But,
yeah, I'm gonna be putting out a record of Ragnarok video. I'm gonna try to upload it tomorrow, and then I'm gonna have a Boruto video out and probably one video about swordsman in One Piece later this week.
There's that. I haven't read a record. You said it's Record of Ragnarok, right? The anime.
Yeah.
I haven't read that drawing, but I heard it's gas. And obviously, I don't know what the Boruto video's on, but check out Boruto. I think Boruto's a little underrated, but we're not talking about that now. So yeah, I mean, yeah, thanks for coming through, Tron, bro. You know, you're welcome anytime. That's the homie. So y'all check out his channel, obviously. The link will definitely be in the description. But yeah, I mean, thanks everyone for coming through. But that's how. But that's all. So peace.